do everything. Usually the dude sings from like A to Z in one song. Kia ora and welcome back. My name's Zoe Stebe, your vocal coach for today. And in today's video, I'm going to be checking out Dimash. So let's get to the video. Do you want to learn to sing with more stability, stamina, and control? Maybe you've never sung a note in your life and you've got no idea where to start. Then this course is for you. I've condensed it all into 10 fundamentals of singing lesson. But these are the basic building blocks for singing so that you can start your singing journey today. Let's get to Dimash. Can't wait to have a look at what he's doing with his voice.
Resistance to me, so I let it go. But the love inside your soul subsided. Stay far from you, reach me from the city. I'm fighting to believe you remember me. I'm screaming. Why can't you hear me? I'm screaming. Why can't you hear me? I'm screaming inside.
Okay, he is singing live. I am super excited. That is so cool. And he sounds on point. I mean, the dude can sing. You don't mean me to tell you though that he can sing, but like the dude's got an amazing voice. So why isn't he able to sing live more often? Why are so many of his shows pre-recorded? Well, Dimash won't get to decide. I know a lot of you will say, okay, he has a lot of creative control over his music. That I understand, but he really doesn't get to make the decision about these sorts of things, whether he sings live or not. I'm personally of the opinion if a show is like 3-4 hours long, that's great for you listeners out there, but like that is taxing for a singer. So personally, I would prefer to go to a shorter concert where someone is singing 100% live, because I feel like then I'm really getting the chance to listen to their voices properly. But this is really different. Very cool.
Шақы туыс бауыраға ершін көмлемде мен сіздерге айтамын қазағымның жігіттері оу толайын біздің жігіттерге жырдан асыл уақыт ағайын таныс әлде бейтаныспа бәрібір үлкенге кішіге де сый құрмет сәлем біл өз ана тілін қастерлеген ардақтап далада білген бір сыры мен сегіз қыр I feel the time to my heart in disco yeah put everything.
Okay, I'm so like mind blown. That is so cool. Did you notice though, every single word, even though I understood like zero of what he just sung, what he just rapped basically, did you notice how clear and articulated everything was? That literally comes down to practice. Practice these things nice and slowly, making sure they're in rhythm and with a metronome as well. So I want you to practice it nice and slow, and then you can speed it up as you get better and more comfortable with the song. And then eventually at the end, you can play it and perform it at like the original speed. So great way for you to, which way is the link going to go? Great way for you to practice your articulation and things like that with my miniga-bidiga-patika exercise. Doesn't matter what language you speak, that exercise is perfect for exactly this sort of thing. Crazy. He can do everything.
Шегедесі құрмет әлем біл өз ана тілін қастерлеген ардақтап далада білген бір сыры мен сегіз қыр I feel the time to my heart in disco yeah would have resistance to me started to go. Yeah, but this love inside this one subside again. Stay far from you, rips me from certain incident. I'm fighting to believe you remember me.
I love it. I mean, this isn't necessarily like showing him at his like most amazing vocal everything. I mean, usually the dude sings from like A to Z in one song, but it's quite refreshing to see like a bit of a pop jam going on. But like, this is 100% his voice, and that is what this channel is all about, looking at live performances. Very cool with that lovely thick vocal fold of that chest voice lower down in his spoken part of his range. If you're looking to strengthen that sort of chest voice quality, I recommend that you speak the words out loud. So, I mean, I don't know the words to the song, but for example, you could go, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dimash. Happy birthday to you. And then what you can do is you can speak the words on pitch. So you can go, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Dimash. Happy birthday to you. And then the third level would be that you're kind of doing a little bit of a complaint on that sound. And that is what really switches us into the sort of singing space rather than staying on like the I'm just speaking on pitch space. So then you would do happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Dimash, happy birthday to you. And that way you've got the three sort of levels of building up your chest voice, but just making sure that you really start with speaking on pitch and then speaking on the melody to get that great vocal fold contact at the lower part of the range. This song's like a really... I feel like this is just making me feel good for the rest of my day. There it was. Okay. I was just trying to see like how long is this, because I don't know, it's part of a whole concert. So I'll put a link down in the description below to the original video. It's like an hour long. So many things going on. Okay, I said like, oh, usually he goes from like A to Z in these songs, but like literally the dude has just gone from like A to Z in this song. That is so cool. And I love that lovely, I mean, totally out of place, but like Dimash is just such a master at like blending all of these different styles together. Very cool. Honestly, who am I to say whether that's something that you do or not? look, music is becoming so individual and different, and like you do what you want to do in your music. And I think he's a perfect example of how, you know, if you really want to add like a classical little riff and run in there in the middle of like your full on belt and go belt, 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 way up into the stratosphere, and then like do a classical part, the world is your oyster. Go for gold. There is an audience for everybody. So that is just like vocal mastery and wizardry there. That is so cool. I'm going to stop saying cool, promise you. But that was a really interesting change. I'm going to go back to it where he went, well, and then he went, oh, into that classical bit, because I just was not sure like what, I think it was belt, belt, belt. And then he went into this like classical piece. Let me just see if I can find it. Okay, I did a really bad job of trying to find that exact place that I was at where he like went into that classical, but he did it at the end there as well a little bit, where he went into that higher part of his range and that head voice register, but he didn't go really breathy up there. What I just wanted to say, and what I actually like just ranted on for about the last 3 minutes to myself, apparently because the thing wasn't recording, was that women have, so, I mean, Dimash, he's something special. This isn't a standard, like, normal male voice. I don't like to say normal because there's really no such thing as normal, but we have sort of like a general setup of what the most of people can achieve. And Dimash is like, he breaks all of those boundaries. But what I want you to think about as a female singer, we have different passaggi in the voice. If you're trying to get up, I think he hit that high C, okay? So if we're trying to get up to that high C as a female, we have what's called we have more than one passaggio in the voice, okay? So they're called passaggi, that's plural. And one of them happens sort of like around the A to the B above middle C, and then around the G to the A, the octave above it, and then again the G to the A, depending on where your whistle register starts, above that. Now, important to note, there is only one voice. You don't actually have a whole lot of different voices. And I find that sometimes when we think about register in terms of like chest voice, head voice, mixed voice, we get really stuck in this idea that you have to stay in one. I so often see that with singers. They go, oh, but I really want to stay in my chest voice. Does it sound like your chest voice, even if it doesn't necessarily like feel like it's got the same weight in it, because it's the sound we're going for, right? Just putting the cat among the pigeons there. I'm not really sure. It's personal preference, but to be honest, if you can't hit the fucking note on in your like chest voice, then maybe you need to do something differently. So when you are going through these passaggi, okay, more than one passaggio, it basically means, or the voice breaks. Your voice isn't breaking, which is why I'm doing this, but you need to do something different in order to access that next set of notes, basically, is what we're talking about. Now, if we're looking to access these, like this high C up here, or C6, I want you to think about that the jaw is nice and loose. So you've just got this, it's like this, oh, I'm staring like into space, dumb kind of feeling on your face. And it's like around one finger wide, one finger width, okay? Her finger in the mouth, whatever. And then let's try it on an Eva, because I love E for this sort of thing. Can you go E? The tip of the tongue is behind the bottom teeth. The sides of the tongue are touching the top molars. And you've got this E. So you've got that. I want you to think about the this everything's coming forward. A singing teacher used to say to me that you've got to have this feeling that you're throwing the sound up. And that's not about pushing from here, and that's not about driving the sound from anywhere else. The voice is created here within the larynx, and it's supported by lovely posture, much better than mine, which is what I was doing. And it's also supported by the tongue as well, when you think about it, because, the tongue, the muscles of the tongue and the root of the tongue surround the top of the larynx. So if you've got a nice high tongue, you're going to be enabling the larynx to rise for the pitch. And also if the tongue is high and forward, you're going to gain much more space here at the back of the mouth. So just watching, don't flatten the tongue or anything like that. Don't push from here. Lovely posture, standing up tall, nice high tongue. And if there's anything that you're sort of like, Sylvia, I don't know how to do that. Or if you're someone who's like really wanting to start singing and you're just thinking, but I'm not really sure how I can go about it. I'm actually bringing out my brand new online Fundamentals of Singing course. And that course goes through posture. We go through breathing for singing, and literally the only difference is that we practice breathing for singing like on a note, like with phonation, okay, with singing. Otherwise it's just breathing. And we go through tongue position. We go through how do you learn a song? How do you practice? How do you get the most out of your practice? That's like important. There's also 3 exercises, warm-up exercises, and downloadable MP3s. There's also a 10-minute like full-on everything you need vocal warm-up in there. I lose track a little bit because there's 10 singing lessons in there. It's all in there. Check out the link in the description below if you want to get the opportunity to get first dibs on the course. Thank you so much for joining me today, everyone. It's like, as always, incredible to have a look at some Dimash. I can't wait to see you back here next time. If you've enjoyed the video, give it a big thumbs up. Consider hitting that subscribe button because I bring out videos just like this one every single week. I'm not going to talk too much. Have an awesome rest of your day. Ka kite anō.